Hello, Anytime here. Today, I will show you the recap of a 2020 superhero anime titled Justice League Dark Apokolips War. Spoiler alert, watch out and take care. In the Justice League headquarters, two lovers, John and Zatanna, rest on the bed that morning. Zatanna tells John she loves him, and John is shocked since he has never doubted her love. As they talk, the leader of the Justice League, Superman, calls all the members. He tells them the story of how Apokolips and their power-drunk head, Darkseid, staged two separate attempts to take over the Earth. And since they could not conquer Earth, they staged attacks on several other planets. According to Superman, Darkseid's planet was seen around the Earth about 10 hours ago, contemplating that he plans to invade again. Superman insists that if they allow Darkseid to invade Earth first, especially with the parademons he had created, he will destroy the Earth. So they have to invade first, as he has sent his elite guard and fury all over the Earth. Flash suggests that if they fight Darkseid first, the Earth will become the primary place for war, and they don't need to risk the lives of everyone over an incoming attack that isn't sure. John also supports this idea. During the argument, Raven feels a slight headache. Superman insists his decision is permanent, and they are invading Darkseid. He asks the members of the Titan to remain on Earth, while the others go for the fight. As their transport move, they see some weird creatures running towards them from Apokolips. 2 years later, the Earth is defeated. Darkseid wins the battle, and he has conquered Earth for himself. John, who has lived in regret all his life, stays in a bar while he drinks with Etrigan. As he does this thing, he receives two visitors. He doesn't recognize them as Superman and Raven, but immediately he confirms it's Superman. He hits him repeatedly, blames the attack on Earth on him, and while they fight, some parademons come to fight them. Together, they defeat the parademons, but John notices Superman no longer has his powers. Superman tells him Darkseid restricted his powers, so he won't be a threat. They beg him to work with them and save the world, but he insists he won't work with the same ones that destroyed the world in the first place. So, Raven calls him a coward. Raven says Zatanna is a hero who died as a hero, and Zatanna won't love to see her lover as a coward. Reluctantly, he takes them into another room to talk. At Apokolips, Batman, who now works for Darkseid after his mind has been manipulated, reports to Darkseid that their reactor isn't working well due to the attack from 2 years ago. Darkseid orders him to work on the reactor so they can conquer the other planet. As Batman's former teammate, Luthor, who also works for Darkseid, has told Darkseid that Batman isn't as consistent as they think he is. In the new room, John asks Superman what caused their last loss, and Superman explains that Darkseid set them up. Darkseid had sent spies to them, and he knew all of their plans. So as they invaded his planet, he sent half parademons and half doomsday at them, which leads to their defeat. John also remembers when the creatures attacked them. They took Zatanna, and she called out for him. He said he didn't know why and how he became a coward as he left his lover there to die and ran away. Anyways, Superman tells him they need him to help them with the locator. He brings it out, and they ask him to help them find a boy named Damian Wayne. Meanwhile, Superman's wife calls him to inform him about the attack on China. However, before they talk the connection breaks. John uses his spell to find the location of Damian. However, his powers can't make them travel immediately. Despite Superman's advice that Raven is too weak to use her powers, she uses them to get them to the location of the League of Assassins. Meanwhile, at Metropolis, Batman meets with Luthor and gets angry that Luthor asked Darkseid for his position, and they brief each other on the project they have in mind. The team gets to the League of Assassins headquarters, where several assassins come to attack them. After the fight, a little Damian intervenes. He attempts to attack Superman for what he had done, but when he sees how weak Raven is, he carries her inside first. In the room, Superman and Damian talk about Raven's difficulties. She has locked her father, Trigon, in a part of her brain, and her father speaks to her and draws her energy. Trigon threatens to destroy the world if he is released, and the only solution to Raven's pain is to release Trigon. As Raven recovers, Damian asks her and Superman to follow him around the quarters, so he will show them what the war had done to him and his clan members. This war collected his father, Batman, from him and made his brother, Nightwing, a monster. He had to use the Lazarus Pit to raise his brother back to life. They ask him to help them as he's the only one who can recover his father, Batman, from Darkseid's manipulation. Reluctantly, he accepts to help them, However, he reminds them they will need to get the boom tube in LexCorp, and there's no possible way. Superman takes them to a suicide court led by Harley. Superman's wife, Lois, has been communicating with Harley, and she has established a relationship with them. They watch Harley box in with Lois. After the fight, Harley announces that they will take over their Earth back. After the game, Trigon speaks to Raven again, and Raven screams. So Damian asks for a room for Raven to rest. In the room, Damian asks Raven where she met Superman, and Raven explains that after Damian left her, she attempted to kill herself, but Superman saved her. Damian tells her the reason he asked her to join him in the League of Assassins is that he loves her, but she says the reason she couldn't join is because of her father, as her father promised to kill Damian. They join the other team as they plan on how to take their planet back. After Lois tells them about how they will take over two of Darkseid's camps, so they will distract the Parademons and Doomsdays, then go to LexCorp to get the boom tube and recover Earth. The plan is sweet, but they all know they can't conquer Darkseid. So Lois informs them that her informant, Sleeper, has told her Darkseid will take over Oa, and they will invade when Darkseid isn't around. Damian calls her a fool and says her informant is deceiving her. However, they all know the Earth will be destroyed if they don't do anything. On the other hand, Batman finishes with Darkseid's plan, and Darkseid travels to Oa. Information gets to Lois about this, and she orders the destruction of the Reapers, while Harley hijacks a bus going into LexCorp to gain access. Luthor calls Batman and informs him of this breach. He orders that the Parademons should be sent to the Reapers. When the team realizes that the Parademons haven't left, John jumps to the location of the third Reaper and manipulates Swampy to destroy it. As the Parademons leave, the team enters LexCorp. They defeat all they meet until they find Luthor, and Damian attempts to kill him. However, Luthor begs them. He says since the war ended, he needed to pick a side, so he decided to join Darkseid, but he had always been helping Lois, the Sleeper. He takes them into the boom tube and wears the jacket on Superman. He also gives the other weapons needed to fight. The members of the Suicide Team fight the Parademons. Also, Batman finds out that Luthor has betrayed them. He goes to Luthor and tells him Darkseid will kill him. Batman reports to Darkseid at Oa that LexCorp has been taken over and Luthor has betrayed them. Darkseid then orders Batman to release the Furies, the manipulated Justice League members, to fight the new members. John fights with Wonder Woman, but she overshadows him. Before she kills him, Etrigan jumps in to save him. Wonder Woman kills Etrigan before John uses his binding powers to release her from her spell. She offers to continue fighting the Furies, while the others go to the power generator. They meet another of their teammate, Flash. They stop him from powering the generator, as John attempts to put him to bed, and he realizes Flash was the one that changed the past. They continue their journey, and another of their former teammates, Cyborg, shoots weapons at them. Raven tries to shield them, but she's too weak, so her father takes over her body and protects them. As she recovers their body, Cyborg tells them that Darkseid will kill them. John releases Cyborg, and it releases the other Furies. Batman arrives with Darkseid, and he tries to turn the team against each other, but Damian speaks. As Damian tries to beg his father, Batman reminds him he was forced to impregnate his mother when his mother drugged him. He says Damian is a burden, so Damian asks Batman to fight him. As they fight, Darkseid tries to manipulate Batman into killing Damian, but Batman gets back his consciousness. He refuses to kill his son, thereby breaking Darkseid's manipulation. As a result, Darkseid attempts to kill him, but Damian jumps into the attack. Damian dies, and Raven shouts in pain. The pain releases Trigon, as she has planned with John. John removes the lock on her forehead and brings Trigon out. He offers Trigon his body, but Trigon refuses and enters Superman's body. He kills John and then goes to fight Darkseid. Batman and Cyborg know they need John before they can escape. On the other hand, John goes to the afterlife, where he meets his lover. She tells him she was the one that used the spell to send him away when she was being killed. He forgives her and accepts to spend the afterlife with her, but she sends him back. She says she needs him to go back to life. Lois calls Superman to tell him that they have opted in for auto-destroy since the Parademons refuse to die. She bids her husband goodbye. This triggers Superman. He sends Trigon back into a cage. John returns, and Raven also raises Damian. Cyborg finds a solution to bring the Justice League back, but he needs to distract Darkseid. So Superman has to keep fighting. Raven and John find a body for Trigon. He goes to fight Darkseid so he can distract him, while the Justice League leaves before Cyborg sends Apokolips into distant space. The members of the Justice League return to Earth. Batman tells them Earth's energy has been extracted, and it will take them years to get Earth back to its normal rotation. They try to convince Flash to reset the timeline, but Flash refuses. John speaks to him. He says that although they know if he resets the timeline, life may not be the same as they plan. It's better than leaving Earth as it is. He accepts and jumps to reset it. Damian and Raven kiss each other, and the other members watch as they await their next fate in the next timeline. Thank you for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap.